A lot of financial advisors will offer a free financial plan or free financial education to get your attention. They sound good, right? But here's the catch. Most of the time, their advice is tied to sales quotas, or they make big commissions if you buy certain product. That means the advice isn't always in your best interest. I'm here to show you how to spot the hidden incentives behind those free plans and fancy investment portfolios. I'm Jim Pan, an advice-only certified financial planner. I learned the hard way how to make better money decisions for myself, and I help my clients understand the big why behind their money, avoid costly mistakes so they can reach their goals much faster. In this video, I'm going to break down the 5 biggest lies your financial advisor probably told you and how to protect yourself. Lie number 1. Net returns are more important than management fees. This is a big one. A lot of advisors like to talk about how much your investments earn. They'll tell you active management is worth paying higher fees as it helps you beat the market. But those 1 to 2% in fees can cost you hundreds of thousands, even millions over time. In fact, studies show that over 90% of actively managed funds don't actually beat the market. So I met a couple in their late 40s with about $1 million invested in segregated funds. These are investments sold through insurance companies that offer extra protection. They're earning 8% a year after fees, which sounded great. But when we looked closer, they were paying 2.65% in fees every year. Meanwhile, similar index funds with the same level of risk were earning 10.5% and only charged 0.15%. So they could either make more money without taking on extra risk or lower their risk and still earn the same 8%. That small 2.5% difference in fees added up to around $25,000 a year, or about $1.3 million over the next 15 years. That's too much to pay for that extra protection. The extra protection just meant the investments could bypass probate if you name a beneficiary. But in their case, all their accounts were registered, which already allows that. So they were really paying extra for a benefit they didn't really need. Now, I'm not against paying fees. Many fee-based advisors charge between 0.4% and 1.5%, and some truly earn it by focusing on financial planning and providing real value. But if your advisor only meets once a year to talk about investment returns, and that's all they talk about, that's probably not worth what you're paying for. Here's what you should ask your advisor when you see high fees on your investments. First, can you put me in an F-class funds to save on taxes? Or do you offer index funds with lower costs? If they say those fees don't matter, it's all about net returns, that's a red flag. Lie number 2, we offer free financial plan. Well, many advisors claim they offer financial plans for free or is included in their service. Well, in reality, if a financial advisor says your plan is free, it's because they are paid when you buy a product. Most of the time, the plan is just detailed enough to point you towards the investment or insurance product they make money from. To be fair, some advisors genuinely want to help, but they can't be completely unbiased when they work in a system that pays them through commissions. So that so-called free plan is mostly a sales pitch dressed up as advice. A real financial plan is different. It digs into every part of your life, your goals, your income, spending, taxes, retirement, estate plans, everything. It takes hours of work and analysis, not a quick printout from a calculator. A proper plan connects all the pieces, your investments, insurance, and taxes, so everything works together. And honestly, something that valuable can't be truly free. So ask your advisor next time, is the plan you offer a comprehensive financial plan? How does this plan bring the different areas of my finances together? How does this plan update as my life changes? If they can't answer this clearly, they're not offering a real plan. They're probably selling a product. Line number 3, you should always diversify across various institutions. Another thing I heard a lot is you should spread your money across lots of accounts and insurance policies to be safe. Sounds reasonable, right? But actually, it's usually redundant and costs extra. Real diversification isn't about having 10 accounts at different banks. It's about having the right mix of investments that fits your goals and comfort level with risk. Too many accounts and advisors mean duplicate fees, misfiling or deductions, and conflicting advice. I once worked with a doctor who had 7 investment accounts at different places. When we looked closely, most of them held the same kind of products or similar kinds of investments. So we helped her combine them into just 3 accounts, 1 TFSA, 1 on an RRSP, and 1 non-registered. We also switched her to a low-fee investment setup, saving her over $6,000 a year. Now, everything's easier to track, and she can finally see her full financial picture clearly. A simple exercise you can do is to create an asset map. List all your accounts, how much is in each and what each one is for. If you or your advisor can't explain why it's so spread out, it might be time to simplify. Line number 4, you need life insurance to secure your future. Life insurance is important. It protects your family financially if something happens to you. But the reality is, not everyone needs it. And even if you do, most people need term insurance, not those fancy permanent ones. A lot of advisors push expensive insurance products because they pay big commissions, not because you actually need them. One of my physician clients was told to buy a corporate whole life policy that costs over $400,000 a year for the next 10 years to save taxes. It sounds enticing to him because he is in the highest tax bracket. But when we dug into it, the setup was very complicated, involving him taking out a large loan with ongoing interest payments to get the money out. That won't actually help him retire with a better peace of mind. We ran the numbers and showed that if he simply used the same money to max out his registered accounts and pay down his mortgage faster, he can still reach his retirement income needs and a lot less stress. So the plan would have helped the advisors far more than it actually helped him. So that's the problem. Many advisors are specialists who focus on one thing, like saving taxes, without looking at your full financial picture. Insurance is used to reduce the financial impact on your family if something happens to you, not be sold as a way to build wealth. Most people are better off with simple term life insurance or income replacement insurance like critical illness or disability insurance if they need it, and investing extra money to grow wealth. So take a look at your policies and ask yourself, what's the real purpose of this insurance? Am I overfunding this insurance while I still have RRSP or TFSA room? Focus on the coverage that fills the gap, not the product that paid commissions. Lastly, line number 5, you need complicated product to get ahead. You probably heard this one. The ultra high net worth are getting ahead with alternative investment product, and now it's accessible to you. Sounds enticing, right? But most people don't realize that the more fancy it sounds, the more money your advisor usually makes, not you. Most high-income families I work with will do just fine with simple, low-cost strategies that help them save taxes. Complicated products often come with high fees, hidden risk, and usually not very liquid. This means the fees are eating into your returns and you may not get your money when you need them. I had a client who had over $500,000 invested in all sorts of private alternative investments such as structured notes, private real estate funds, mortgage funds, etc. The fees were high, about 2% a year. Even worse, the client couldn't tell me exactly what they owned, why they owned them, and they couldn't get their money out quickly. Moreover, that $500,000 is nearly 80% of the client's investable asset. So in the end, all the complexity and concentration gave almost no extra gain. They can simply achieve their goals by diversifying their investments a bit more and focus on maximizing their TFSAs and RRSPs. And they can simply diversify it in a low-cost index funds. You just need to be clear on your goals and take the least amount of risk to get the return you need to reach your goals. A good question to ask your advisor: what's actually in the portfolio? Has there ever been a time investors couldn't get their money? How much am I paying in fees? And what do I actually get? If the answers are vague or confusing, that's probably a red flag. Now, these little lies from advisors aren't just annoying. They're also costing you millions over time. You are likely better off by keeping things simple, focusing on what matters to you, your goals, and work with a fiduciary certified financial planner who look at your whole financial picture instead of just one piece of it. That's how you protect your wealth and actually sleep better at night. Remember, your money should work for you, not someone else. If you like this video and want a free fee calculator, click the link in the description and I will send you the calculator I use with my clients to see the impact of fees you're paying. See you in the next one.